Alright, so it is lunchtime. We've stopped at Ruby Beach in Olympic National Park, and this is an absolutely gorgeous spot. We've got the ocean behind us, and it just stretches on. I love the rocks that are there. The waves are absolutely fantastic. All this driftwood is washed up here. You can't see the full extent of it from this view, but you can see down further on the beach that there's so much of it. And if I actually come over here, you should be able to see a bit more of it. You can see just how far back it goes. And of course we're up against the forest here, which looks fantastic, and the ocean just goes on and on and on, and it's absolutely beautiful. So it's fantastic that we get to be here for lunch. And we've got these rock formations over here too. You can see a whole bunch of people over there, which gives you a sense of scale. And I just love the ocean so much. The waves, I could just stand there and stare at them all day. But yeah, it's awesome to be here right now. So we've come a bit further, and as you can see, there's way more driftwood around here. There are just piles of it everywhere all along this beach. And now we're a lot closer to these rocks over here, and they're absolutely massive. It's amazing. You can see there are some people, they climbed it over there, so that gives you a sense of scale. But the tide has been coming in, and it's fantastic to just watch the waves. And actually what's really cool is there are these pools that go all the way back there, but they actually drain back out into the ocean. And so to get over here we had to cross this little driftwood bridge, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's incredible how much water there is in there that it's able to keep flowing back out into the ocean and still, you know, stay filled. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Now this is a really neat area here. We're on one of the rocks right now, and there's a little hole here. It's like an archway, and the waves are just coming in here, and they look amazing, crashing against all these different rocks. If I go down, you can see some waves coming, because the water goes out, and then as it comes back in, there's so much there that it just bursts up, and it looks awesome. And as you can see, it's very close to where we are, and it also drains out into this area, and it's recently gone here, almost surrounding the rock I'm standing on, which is really neat. But yeah, it's getting, as I said earlier, the tide's getting closer, which means that these waves are coming in more. But it's really neat. So we're still in Olympic National Park, but we have entered another rainforest. Right now we're on a trail called the Hall of Mosses, and so like the other rainforests that we've been to so far, there is moss all over the place, but this rainforest is a little bit different than the other ones. It's got a little bit of a differing variety of plant life, and what's also different is it's actually recently rained. It just rained actually a few minutes ago. So it's a good thing that it stopped raining before we got on the trail. But it's kind of ironic because Vancouver is kind of known for the amount of rain that it gets, and the 4 days we were there we didn't get any rain. But now that we're out of Vancouver, rain again. But yeah, it's really neat to see the rainforest after it's been recently rained on, because everything is still freshly wet, and it kind of adds to that rainforest vibe. And down there you can see there's a little stream there. We passed that as soon as we were entering the trail, and it's difficult to see behind these trees, but the water is amazingly clear. It's probably some of the clearest water we've seen on this trip, so that was really amazing. And no matter how many of these rainforests we go into, it's always awesome to be able to walk through. And right now I'm looking up at this tree here. We've got more absolutely massive trees that just stretch on and on and on, and covering them all the way up is mosses, and it's amazing. This area of the rainforest is particularly cool because you can see all these amazing trees that are right near the path, just stretching up and branching off, and they're not particularly tall, but just the amount of branches that branch off them and the moss hanging off of every single one is so awesome to look at. And right behind here there's a tree that's acting like an arch. The shape of it is so cool. It's been cracked off, but yeah, and it's awesome to be able to walk through all these trees that are just absolutely covered in moss. It's a really cool sight. So we've come down a different path now, and we've come to a river, and it's an absolutely gorgeous color. You can see it right there. It's this beautiful turquoisey blue, and obviously it's not a huge river, but it's magnificent up against the trees and the stones on the other side. And you can see it's quite cloudy today. They're covering most of those mountains over there. But the contrast of colors is amazing, with the bluey turquoisey of the river and then the greens of the mosses and the trees. And it's absolutely beautiful. So we've just hiked a beautiful little trail to Soldup Falls. This is them behind me, and they look absolutely fantastic. And especially because it's in the midst of all this greenery, all the mosses on the rocks and stuff. And it's really cool because there are a couple of logs that have actually gone across the little canyon it's carved out, as you can see there. And on the other side of the bridge, you can see another one that's going across right there. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful little fall. And what's lovely about this is, even though it is kind of dark and rainy, I think it kind of adds to the atmosphere of this kind of area. And I actually quite like it like this because it's not pouring. It's just a little bit of a mist, and the lighting of it just adds a bit of atmosphere to it, and I think it's fantastic. Also, today is July 19th, and the significance of that is that it is actually my birthday. I am 17 years old, and I can't really recall a recent time where I've actually been away from home for my birthday, but this is an absolutely fantastic place to be able to be, and yeah, it's been a great day. So I hope you guys enjoyed today, and I'll see you tomorrow.